It is a story of survival and gratitude.
3 people rescued after their plane crashed earlier this week. Melissa Fry talked with the pilot and his wife about the crash and the rescue mission. Melissa, what did they say?
Yeah, Joe and Emily, the pilot Josh Smith had his 72-year-old father-in-law and 12-year-old daughter on board. And once that plane flipped, he did everything he could do to keep them alive.
Flying out with their helicopter looking for us.
He's only been home one day.
Orsons and Iversons and SOAR Aviation.
But Josh Smith is already writing his list of thank yous.
Patrol and in the FAA. Quite a humbling experience to see your whole community turn and just help and to show that love that it's there and it's amazing.
The list of people who helped to rescue him and his family is longer than he can even grasp.
It took them a lot of stress and effort, and we are so thankful. We are very grateful for all of your efforts.
Effort he never thought he would need when he left the Lake Hood Airport Sunday afternoon, heading home to Kenai with a sightseeing stop on the way.
Made a little side trip to stop and just enjoy the beauty of the mountains there.
A stop on a ridgeline landing strip that he's landed on before, but not under these conditions.
Up at the top of the ridge there, just got a little beyond what I was able to do with the airplane and ended up stuck.
The snow was just too deep, and while coming to a stop, the plane flipped. Stranded, with no way off the ridge, his survival instincts kicked in.
We had food and we had just the bare minimum to stay warm. We were able to get a fire going and get that established and then put it out. So if we needed it again, we could just get it fired right back up. And then we stayed inside the airplane to stay warm. Just huddled up in our sleeping bag and took turns rotating around to share heat.
Back home, Josh's wife wasn't sure if her husband, her daughter, and her father were alive.
You know, I got a report that they were moving to the other side of the inlet to start looking, and it just felt like they were, I don't know, chasing a ghost.
Countless pilots and volunteers were searching, using any leads and signals they could get, including the flare that finally led them to the family.
And I can tell you, I've never seen a prettier helicopter than that one.
And my mom called me, and she's just screaming. And I can't understand a single word she's saying, and so I'm like kind of panicking, like, is this a happy call, or are you like terrified and crying?
After 30 hours of waiting, she needed good news.
So I'm finally, are you happy or sad, Mom? Happy or sad? And she's like, happy. I'm like, okay.
Her family was finally on their way home.
You know, it was a flight that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Yeah. And the sight of those coasties coming up over the hillside is one I will never forget. Thank you, guys.
The flight of his life with gratitude that will last a lifetime.
And while, of course, they're rejoicing now, Josh and Melissa tell me with 6 kids, it was right back to the laundry and making lunches for school.
Wow, 6 kids, pretty busy then. Melissa, did Josh say if he'd do anything differently this time around?
Yeah, he did say going forward, they are going to invest in a better emergency transmitter that would let searchers know their exact location and also start filing a more exact flight plan. As for the survival, he plans to pack the plane with a higher quality sleeping bags and, of course, more food. Emily.